Hey everyone, before we get into today's episode, I have two quick announcements. One is the Karstcast hats are officially available at Karstcast.com. We're running a bit low on stock, so if you want to get in on it, go head over there now. We talk about it a bit more in the episode. And two, I just want to give a quick thank you to all of our lovely patrons over at patreon.com/Karstcast. The podcast is, of course, free to listen to. We appreciate it. We will always be doing it for free, but if you're looking for a great way to support us, the best way to do so is by going to patreon.com/Karstcast, where you can get exclusive access to bonus episodes, Q&As, shoutouts at the end of every episode, monthly Zoom hangouts, and much, much more. We would really appreciate it, and enjoy the episode.
Karstcast. My name is Jeff. I watch movies sometimes. And I'm Karsten. I also watch movies sometimes. You're listening to the Karstcast movie cast.
Hello. Welcome to the 82nd episode of the Karstcast movie cast.
That's the 82nd is big, probably.
Yeah, I guess it's a bit higher than 81st, if you think about it. But Jeff, what is the liquid component of blood called? Wait. Oh, sorry. I just went a little too crazy. Did you guess it?
Hemoglobin?
It is plasma.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I knew it was like one of the... Plasma was like my other one. I forgot. I'm not the doctor.
Yeah.
Neither are you.
Neither am I.
But as long as
really-
we have a doctor that does know that, then it's fine.
Yeah, everything's good. Like, are you any good at science? Is that at all? How'd you do it in science in high school?
So I have a degree in anthropology, but that's
Right.
a soft science.
Okay, yeah.
It's not a hard science.
I don't...
Yeah, like biology, I think I've mentioned this before, but I took AP biology and I never opened the textbook. I just found the test bank for all the tests. So I just spent every morning of a test just memorizing all of that chapter's multiple choice questions
So you're
by
not...
using mnemonic devices.
Yeah. Huh.
So yeah, it's like, oh, this is a really short question. The answer is it's the shortest answer. It was like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like most of the questions I didn't even read. I just memorized them all, and then I got an A, and then I somehow passed the AP biology test and never even had to take it in college.
Wow. That's nice. I passed AP Spanish, but I don't
Really?
remember. Yeah, because I went to a Spanish immersion school. Have we talked about this?
Did I? I don't think I knew that.
No, my elementary school, from the 1st to the 6th grade, I was in a Spanish immersion school.
Muy bueno.
Muy bueno. Nope, that's French.
That's French.
I remember no Spanish, which is, I guess it didn't pan out well.
That's muy malo.
Muy malo. Yeah. But anyways, to anyone who isn't aware, the hats are officially available to the public. If you go to Karstcast.com, you can get yourself a Karstcast hat. Jeff, I believe, is wearing one right now.
I am.
Hell yeah.
What if I was wearing just like some really offensive hat instead?
You're
actually,
don't make me
no.
do this. Don't make me taupe. I'm like, what? It's like you have just, yeah. Never mind. But yeah, thanks to everyone who's bought one already. We have, as of now, at the time of recording this, there are about 10 or so left.
Yeah, and I want to make a quick announcement. I just want to say to our European fans, I apologize. The amount that it cost to ship them was a lot more than I anticipated.
Yeah.
So the first few I sent to Europe, we actually lost money on.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't know this beforehand.
I thought it would be like maximum. I thought it would be like 12 to 15 to ship it to Europe. It
Yeah.
was not. It is $24.50.
Yeah.
So that is why the shipping cost is $20.
Yeah. We're super sorry about that. We just...
Now, to people in the U.S., this is working out perfectly. The shipping cost is exactly what I thought it would be.
Yep. It's not too
so
bad.
good job, everyone, on that front.
Yeah.
But anyone who does not live in the U.S., yeah, sorry. You can still buy one. It just will cost you $37.
Mm-hmm. So that's the scoop on that. We just wanted to establish or acknowledge it.
I just want to be clear that I'm not price gouging you. It's
No.
not like I'm making $20
Trust
of
me.
profit off this hat. I did the math, and for like most of them, we are making, just to be very transparent on the hats that I ship to Europe, we are making about $3.50 profit.
Yeah. So we're not like this isn't good for any of us, right? Unless you
But
get
if you
a
want
hat. Yeah.
we're making it. Yeah,
You're
we're
gonna
making
get a
it
sick
possible.
hat out of this. Yeah.
Yes.
So Karstcast.com to get yourself a hat.
Now, if anyone ever wants to advertise, I promise we're gonna make your company sound better than these hats.
Also, this was like kind of just a first round, really.
Yeah.
We'll be making some more merch in the future, and we promise we'll find a way to make this not as messy.
Yeah.
I guess the
Yeah.
rollout could
Again,
have
for
been a lot
everyone in the
better.
U.S., it's working great.
Great, yeah. People have
What-
already
what
gotten
if
their
it's like-
hats.
Stamps.com. This isn't good for any of us.
Yeah. So that's that. I'd also like to address something that happened in the last episode where I was talking about the colors and the numbers, and like 3 is yellow, and so someone like actually not just one person, like a few people were like, Karsten, that's synesthesia, and I'm aware of what that is, and I know people with it. I don't think that's what it is. I don't think I have full-blown synesthesia, but maybe I do. It's just been on my mind this week. I always thought it was a much more intense thing than whatever because I know people can like taste numbers. Like if someone brings up the number 3, they have like a taste for it, and I don't.
I
have
mean,
that.
I can taste numbers in terms of if I eat 3 M&Ms, I know there's 3 of them.
Or like if you get the number 9 at McDonald's, I can taste that.
Yeah, right. But I'm not like, I don't lick something and say, you know what? I'm getting 4 here.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
Getting some notes of 4.
Yeah, and I knew someone in
Little
high
hint of
school
7.
where they had that, and I don't have that, for the record. But maybe, I don't know. I actually haven't done enough research to really be speaking on this, but I would like to say, I just brought up McDonald's. Jeff, what's your McDonald's order?
Okay, so this depends. Generally, the just like classic go-to is quarter pounder with cheese meal with ketchup and extra pickle only on the burger. I'm a big pickle guy,
Ooh, that sounds really good.
which we established in our American pickle episode.
Yep, big pickle guy. I can get around. I don't know if I said this in the pickle episode, but I do like pickles on burgers. Those are good, and chicken sandwiches. But any other
They're a nice
other
crunch.
way, yeah. Unless it's like you go to a restaurant, and sometimes they give you the big long pickle on the side. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that? What do you want me to do here?
Are you a McRib guy?
Never had the McRib. No.
Oh, it's gross.
Yeah, it seems.
You bite into it and then look at the middle and it's like gray.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't think anything is supposed to be gray.
No. I'm too afraid to look into anything that I eat at McDonald's. I like
No.
the chicken nuggets. I was traumatized as a kid biting into one of those, and
Yeah. What do you think would be like the lamest McDonald's order? If you're like, oh, this is my like go-to, I feel like it's the filet of fish.
yeah, that's up there. Yeah,
I feel like that's just a weird thing to get at McDonald's. You're like, you know what? I trust McDonald's to make fish properly.
honestly, I do, and I know this is like I'm not saying anything new here, but I do not know what the logic is behind getting a salad from McDonald's. I don't know what you're not go somewhere else.
I have a theory on that.
Okay.
I think the salads are only for like parents of kids who want McDonald's, where they're like, well, I don't want to stop at another place. I guess I'll just have a salad.
That would make more sense. Yeah. Yeah.
That's my theory.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. McDonald's smoothies surprisingly adequate.
They're fine. I
That's what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah,
not saying
yeah,
they're
yeah,
good,
yeah.
but like
they're better than you think.
sometimes
they would
if
be.
I go there, I'll be like, yeah, good enough.
I'm going to say this, and this might be controversial, but the shakes at McDonald's, terrible. I hate the shake. It always seems like a good idea in the before you order it, but then you tack that onto your meal, and that's what kills you is the shake.
So this is gonna probably be not controversial necessarily, but I've never had a shake in my entire life.
What?
because I don't just the idea of it. It seems like you either want a drink or you want ice cream. I don't whatever. What the hell's a shake? Like, what is that?
Jeff, oh my God.
Why would you want that?
You know what?
The consistency doesn't seem like something I would want.
Here's a great gateway into shakes. And it's like kind of a shake. Go to Wendy's, get a Frosty. That is like, it's like one of the best things out there. One of the best treats.
Okay. So I have had a Frosty.
Uh-huh.
Is that a shake? I thought that was just an ice cream.
I guess you're right.
What is a shake?
A shake is definitely a lot more, because there's a difference between a shake and a milkshake. And I hate milky shakes, because, okay.
That sounds like something you get if you're like lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
I got the milky shakes.
Okay, for the record, as someone who worked at an ice cream shop, I knew the difference between like a shake and like shakes or milkshakes is just you put more milk in them. That's even like shakes that aren't called milkshakes. Yeah, it's just like, well, because it's like a liquidy ice cream, and the milk makes it good.
But regular shakes, you still put milk into, just less.
Well, that's what I think. All shakes are pretty milky, and milkshakes are just milkier milkshakes.
Okay, so we're talking about this. I still don't understand what a shake is.
Honestly, I don't. A shake. Let's just boil it down in the simplest terms.
It just seems like an ice cream that started to melt.
Yeah, but like it's still cold, and it's like a drink, you know? You can substitute in most places the soda for the shake. And as someone who doesn't drink a soda, I often do that. But at McDonald's, I regret it. What
about the Shamrock shake?
No, I don't. I have no opinion on that. Let's just skip past that. McFlurry is overrated. Let's just get that out of the way. The Oreo McFlurry.
Yeah, it's kind of like a slightly worse Blizzard.
It's hilarious. Yeah, it's so overrated. It's like vanilla ice cream. You don't taste anything.
A Blizzard is like a worse, whatever Culver's calls it, a concrete?
Yeah, no. Oh my God, yeah. But
yeah, Culver's finally got to Florida like a few years ago.
Really?
There's one that's maybe 20 minutes from my parents' house.
Dude, yeah. I don't like to overdo it with Culver's because it is good, and I like to keep it special. You know? Because that used to be me with Chipotle. This is such a stupid rant. But, like, It's like it used to be so special and good, but then I went there too often, and now it's just like it's Chipotle.
Did you go to the one that was, like, attached to DePaul's Loop campus?
I actually think we've talked about this on the podcast.
Yeah, I was about to say, this sounds familiar now.
Yeah. And I was recognized there 3 times, which is the most vulnerable place to be recognized, in my opinion.
Especially because the line at that one is always like
really long
to the door,
and seating is always
so
like.
Then
I just hate being watched when eating Chipotle because it's like you're it's like a sport.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is I don't get burritos there. Well, I don't eat there often, but when I do, I get a burrito bowl.
Yeah,
just like a normal meal.
I've started getting the burrito bowl. It's just less embarrassing to eat that.
That's the thing is I don't get why people want burritos.
Oh, there's
like you can still have the burrito taste, just you don't have to. It's the different method of eating.
It's just the way that like a burrito, it's all nicely wrapped up in it's a variety in one bite. Whereas it's tight. I think it's the it's the tightness of it, and it's wrapped around in like flour. Something about that is more appetizing than just
the tightness thing is just you.
Yeah, well, there's a way.
I don't know if anyone else why do you like a burrito? And someone's like, you know what? It's very tight.
It's tight, not as in cool, as in like it's just tight.
It's just wrapped tightly.
No, but really, because like the burrito bowl, you got the lettuce just kind of like flimsy on the fork, and yeah.
I don't know if you're gonna convert me to whatever this thought process is.
Okay, to answer the question, my go-to McDonald's order is the number 9. It is 2 cheeseburgers and a medium fry. Yeah, it's great. I haven't had the Travis Scott meal yet. I don't think it looks kind of average, but it actually kind of looks good. So maybe I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Well. I mean, now that we got that out of the way,
yeah.
Do you want to talk about this week's film?
Yeah, Dolphin Tale.
Dolphin Tale, starring.
Are you
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, and nobody else that I know, to be honest.
Wait, you don't know anyone else?
Well, let me just double check.
Harry Connick Jr., you don't know?
I didn't really recognize a lot of people.
He's very famous.
I bet he is.
He's like a singer as well, but he's incredibly famous.
Oh, I think I've seen his face around. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like super famous. He's like pretty much everyone over the age of like 40 in America knows who he is.
Oh, he was in like Harry Met Sally. Yeah, he's in all these films that I really just never either got around to or okay, there's this one. Never mind. Yeah. I'm not that great with celebrities, to be honest.
What about? Well, I'm not. Well, you're very good with celebrities who are young.
Not even. No, not at all.
Like Lucas Hedges. You know how no one knows who that is. People on film Twitter think that's like a person that people know who that is.
I know.
No one knows who that is.
But dude, on the topic though, Lucas Hedges was at the premiere of his new movie. Dude looked crazy. And anyways, he just like his hair. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right though. Like Lucas Hedges, but not a celebrity.
Harry Connick Jr. is probably 10 times as famous as Lucas Hedges.
Totally. Yeah.
Also, Chris Christopherson's in this film. I mean,
I forgot about Chris Christopherson.
He's famous because of his name, probably.
Mm-hmm. It's a really amazing name.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, Chris Christopherson. I know there's a lot to talk about in this film.
Well, yeah, there might be.
This film was filmed about 15 minutes from my parents' house that I'm in right now.
Yep.
I volunteered at the aquarium. It's not called the Clearwater Marine Hospital. That's not what it was called. Uh-huh. It's the Clearwater Marine Aquarium. They just pretended the name was something else. Obviously, a lot of this film is a bit made up. Yeah. But there's so much wrong. I mean, this is like a very Clearwater, Florida film, which is where I was born and where my parents live 15 minutes from. Uh-huh. But just one of the first impressions of this. Mm-hmm. Chris Christopherson no one is like that here. He's portrayed as like this old, like folksy, like saltwater guy. That's not a real type of person. It's just this like approximation of what people think somewhat like some old guy who lives in Florida would be like. Okay. That's literally not a type of person.
Because here's the thing, from an outsider's perspective, I fully believed that. And I think that's what's so crazy about this film.
I get that. That's what they were going for, but that's not a real like no one I've ever met is like that.
Oh man. Yeah.
There's some like old fisherman type guys, but they're not these guys who are like these grizzled.
Yeah.
Like I think Chris Christopherson is much closer to a guy who's like in Deadliest Catch. He's like a retired lobster fisherman who's spent like years at sea in Alaska. He's not like a guy who just fishes on the beach in Florida.
Yeah. Well, I have also. Okay, no. Say what you're gonna say.
There's so many things wrong with this film just about Florida. So right in the beginning, when the dolphin's like on the beach, mm-hmm. I was looking at this beach and like it's pretty rocky. But if you look, all the rocks are like evenly spaced because there's no rocks on the beach here. Someone production
put all
design
those
person
rocks
just
there?
went and put a bunch of rocks like equally spaced out.
That's so weird.
I know it's really strange.
Yeah.
Also, the CGI in the beginning for the dolphin looks so bad.
Okay, I was gonna bring that up. It was so, I think, unnecessary, and a lot of work was clearly put into it. And yeah, I was just like, this is sad to watch.
It was really bad.
Let me read the synopsis before we get too carried away.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to. Okay, so this is a 2011 film directed by Charles Martin Smith, and fans of the channel might recognize that name. I did. I was like, where have I heard that before? And well, first of all, he was an actor in American Graffiti and The Outsiders, not the Untouchables. So he's like this child actor. You recognize his face from American Graffiti. And also, he directed A Dog's Way Home, which was this terrible movie from 2018. I have a whole video on why the trailer was bad. I actually never saw the movie. The trailer is just, it's a aggressively terrible trailer about a dog running away movie. But anyways, he directed that, if you recognize the name. But he also did this. And the synopsis reads, While swimming free in the ocean, a young dolphin gets caught in a trap and severely damages her tail. Though she is rescued and transported to Clearwater Marine Hospital, her tail cannot be saved, and the prognosis is dire. What the dolphin, now named Winter, needs is a miracle. She gets that miracle in the form of a marine biologist, Harry Connick Jr., a prosthetics designer, Morgan Freeman, and a devoted boy, Nathan Gamble, who find a way to help Winter swim again. So it's like one of those inspirational family animal movies.
100%. And I will say that for a kids movie, this was incredibly well written.
Yeah. Honestly, okay.
In terms of you go.
No, I was just gonna say it's simultaneously way better than you'd think it would be, and just as bad. It's I wouldn't call this a good movie, but also for what it could have been, this could have been like a joke, and it's not. It's just a mediocre movie. It's
a movie that right after stuff happens, you realize it's being emotionally manipulative, but then you're like that. But that emotional manipulation works for about a minute.
Yeah, totally.
So that's the thing, is that it's very good at doing that, where there's so many ups and downs in this film, and you're kind of with it, and then right as it happens, you're like, oh, that was actually kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But while it was happening, you're with it. Then looking back in retrospect, you're like, that was kind of trash.
Right.
And it's very transparent what the film is doing to you on purpose, with the way the score kind of crescendos right at all these peaks and valleys of the film. And this film really, for a kids film, just has so many ups and downs.
Mm-hmm. A lot of ups and downs in the plot and in the dolphin's motions.
And then it's like a dolphin's tail.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It could have been like the dolphin without the prosthetic tail, where it went side to side and did nothing. But instead it was like the dolphin's tail when it has the prosthetic, where it goes up and down.
Yep. Not like this, but like this, yeah.
Yeah. I volunteered at that aquarium probably a year, maybe 2 years before this was filmed.
Okay.
And the dolphin at that time was already there. It had the tail, but it wore the tail 2 hours a day. It wasn't a lot of the stuff was fairly factual in this film,
right?
In terms of the science of why they made the tail, was because they thought there would be spinal issues.
Yeah.
And the dolphin was fine going the sideways thing. But yeah, it was a really small time aquarium.
It's just
before this winter thing blew up. Now, dude, if you go there now, it's again 15 minutes away. You drive by it and it's huge. They built on so many extra parts.
I mean, I guess it's in a way, I don't know how big of a hit of a film this was.
Oh, this film was actually, I don't remember what the box office was, but it was a hit.
I wonder if
it was a pretty big movie.
The aquarium is a tourist attraction.
Oh, it is, 100%.
That's crazy.
It's huge. It's a huge tourist attraction now.
Yeah.
Massive.
Well, there was a Dolphin Tale 2, which let me just say, why is that on Netflix and this isn't?
I cannot fathom what Dolphin Tale 2 would be about.
Yeah, exactly. Why did they need
I haven't
that?
read the synopsis of that is, and I can't understand what you would add on to this film.
Morgan Freeman is also in that one, for the record.
Yeah, and okay, for the record, I was in the crowd scene at the end, the big race. And Morgan Freeman was not there. Now, you may keen viewers of this film might recognize the fact that he was in those scenes, but it was not him. It was a guy who looks exactly like him.
Oh my god.
So Morgan Freeman has this body double he looks so much like Morgan Freeman that he does all non-speaking roles. So if you notice, Morgan Freeman didn't talk at all in that whole last outdoor scene. It's because it wasn't actually Morgan Freeman. It was just a guy to stand there in the medium shots to look like him.
That's crazy. I need to go back and rewatch it now. I'll probably put some stills in the video. I gotta stop saying this stuff out loud because then I won't do it. But
also some of the scenes, because I went visited one of the sets because my dad knew a guy who helped run that aquarium. And one of the sets was in a. Do you have any Steinmarts in anywhere?
No.
It's a shop that's kind of like TJ Maxx.
I bet I have, but I just don't recognize them.
Yeah, but it was in an old Steinmart that was closed. You just walk into the Steinmart, and there was like the Chris Christopherson's house set.
Oh my god, that's so weird.
It was just built in this old like TJ Maxx type store.
The thing about this is not only was it like a hit, but just it was greenlit to begin with. I don't understand honestly like how this is that big of a hit of a story. And maybe I'm just like not into dolphins or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's that kids love dolphins.
Yeah.
And then it's like, because there is also this tie-in of like, people have lost limbs and it's like they can relate to the dolphin. It's like a very heartwarming type of film. And then also it's very funny, like just how, again, they made very obvious choices with this script where they did this mirroring of the kid having no confidence and his cousin having all the confidence in him. Like the roles were flipped and it's like all this very obvious film stuff that works in kids movies, which has no actual depth.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, for a kids movie, it kind of works.
It works.
Like, I could see why kids would love this movie.
I
think there's nothing to take away from it as an adult but
yeah. I also would like to acknowledge this. I can't believe I actually missed this earlier, but Charles Martin Smith also directed Air Bud. So that's
seriously.
Yeah. So he's had a career. He did. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a lot more. You know what? I changed my mind. This movie's awesome.
I didn't know there was an American Graffiti sequel titled More American Graffiti. That is such a great... Anyways, yeah, I don't know. Some general criticism about this movie is it's way too long. And I guess it's like kind of like an epic, inspirational story for kids. But I don't know. You look like you're going to disagree with me. But I don't know. I just thought it was...
I mean, it's long for a kids movie, but it's only like an hour 50.
Exactly. I think it should be like... they should cut it... Okay. It should be like at 90 minutes, and it could be 90 minutes. Because so many plot points in this thing, specifically like in the first half, I would say, are just dragged out to a point where it's just this kid kind of wandering from one place to another.
Yeah, that's true.
And
I love how they also, when he was crossing the bridge, they're like, our audience is dumb as hell. They're not gonna know where he's going, so we got to have the signs pointing to the aquarium. Like, we weren't gonna make the mental connection that he's like on his bike and then he arrives at the aquarium. Oh, that bridge was to the aquarium. It's like, how dumb do they think I am?
Yeah,
clearly very.
Again, I feel bad. I can't go in on this the way we do. Like, what's the most recent film what did we just... Guns Akimbo. Yeah, that or even like Kazam, because it's like this is so clearly like a very innocent, charming, inspirational kids flick.
Yeah,
that I feel bad like being mean to, but at the same time, it's just I guess it's just not my kind of movie, and it's also just really it's very Floridian, I guess.
Yeah, I know. For me, if this film
I want to ask
is
more
not from
about that.
like my actual childhood home,
yeah. Also,
I don't know if I would care.
So you froze for a little bit of that, so I kind of like got
you
bits
did
and
too.
pieces, and I was like, okay, yeah. But anyways, I want to read this. The most recent review for this on Letterboxd is this movie is about as fun as the aquarium it's based off of. Is that true? Like, is it? Can you speak a bit more on the aquarium?
So my experience working there is at first I was helping run children's like summer camps, and we would do like these boat tours where we would take a boat with a bunch of kids to like this kind of like sandbar, and they would just walk around on the sandbar for a while. And then there were also these tours that you would give to adults, and pretty much you would just drive around on this boat in the intercoastal and then point out Hulk Hogan's house. You'd be like, hey, that's Hulk Hogan's house.
It's like a really underwhelming Hollywood tour.
Yeah. There it is, the Hulkamaniacs. Look over there.
That's where the brother lives.
But then after that, someone who worked there, this woman who was like in charge was kind of creepy. And then she got like mad at me for something, and then she assigned me to have to work in the gift shop for the rest of the summer. So I just spent the rest of the summer working there folding clothes.
Yeah.
With like this table that folds the clothes. We're like,
man, okay. So another thing is I feel like if anyone listening didn't know, you were technically an extra in this, as well as your brother.
Right.
And your brother is seen in the trailer.
He's also seen in the film.
Can you confirm, now that you've seen the film, if you're in the film?
I am in the film.
Okay, because I couldn't see
So I'm in
you.
a couple different spots. Now, one, you can only kind of see my head like semi-obscured, and that's because I didn't want to be there.
Oh.
So my parents made me go because my whole family was there. And then in one scene, you see my brother. He's like in a prime location.
Yep.
You see his whole deal.
Yep.
And then in the like further diagonally back to the right, like from like if you're watching the screen, I'm like back up to the right.
Yeah.
You see my dad stand up, and then I'm sitting down still, and everyone's supposed to get up and start clapping, and then my dad turns to me and he's like getting mad that I'm not sitting up because you're supposed to stand up, and he goes like, he's like telling me to stand up, like waving his arms at me, and that's in the film.
Oh my god. Okay, I have to
just,
rewatch.
Like, yeah, it's pretty funny. It's in like the minute like 37 or hour 37. I mean.
Okay.
Like 1 hour and 37 minutes. If you rewatch like the next minute of that.
Yeah. I was keeping my eyes peeled.
Yeah. And then I'm also a little further near the end when the kids are like on the dock. There's like a wide shot where you see a lot of people on it because I'm like in the first row of that.
Oh.
But yeah, you don't really make out my face that much. But my brother, you can really make out in one of the shots.
Oh yeah. I could tell like clearly in the trailer. I was like, that's Jared. Wow. That's so funny. And the fact that you just never went to see the movie.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't really... This is just basically like an educational video, too, at certain parts. It feels like it's kind of for the kids that were really into science, which I guess is like topical because we were just talking about science. But
I mean... Yeah, dude, this kid in this film went to Mildred Helms. Which is a elementary school near my house. I didn't go to Mildred Helms because I'm not a loser.
That just sounded like a roast that like a very specific group of people could get.
Actually, dude, the kid couldn't have gone to my elementary school because my elementary school is now it's a historic site that's literally just a museum. Because it's so old. My elementary school was like 100-something years old. So it's literally just like a building that's empty that has like one small museum in it because it's so old.
That's so...
Which makes me feel really old.
Yeah.
That my elementary school's a museum now.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know. This did not make me want to visit Clearwater, for the record. No offense.
Here's the thing they didn't touch on is that about 5 minutes from that aquarium is the world headquarters for Scientology.
Oh. Maybe that's
so
in
Tom
Dolphin
Cruise
Tale
has
2.
been there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dolphin Tale 2, the Scientologists invade the Marine Hospital.
Okay.
They're doing it. They give Winter a stress test.
Did I tell you I went to a Scientology building once? Like,
I feel like you did tell me that.
And then we were like, we probably shouldn't include this. But I don't see what's so controversial about it. I just like, me and my friends, we were curious. So we went there and like took a test because they have like those personality tests.
Yeah.
And it got very dangerous very fast because they were like,
yeah, you don't want to go in there.
No, we gave them all like fake names and everything, but it was like insanely sketchy. I walked in and like immediately like 4 people came up like bright smiles, like confronting us like, hey, like, what are you here for? And like, we were like,
yeah,
we just want to take the test.
Yeah. Clearwater, like right near this, is literally the world headquarters.
Damn.
Of Scientology. So yeah, that Clearwater Beach is like a fun party like beach.
Uh-huh.
But then if you cross the bridge, where this aquarium's literally halfway across the bridge. But if you cross the bridge all the way into Clearwater, it's kind of crappy.
Yeah. Maybe I'll visit you sometime. and we can.
Yeah,
do
Clearwater Beach is fine though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should come to Florida. We could do a
little Florida
Karstcast
episode.
we could do like we could do a pre-made video package.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we'll do a thing where we go to different Florida sites and record there, and
That could be fun.
yeah, talk about.
And then we could stay at campgrounds.
Right. That'd be fun. Well, yeah. Okay. I guess I don't have that much else to say about the movie. Like, it's as far as the quality goes, it's just not that interesting.
Yeah.
I
Now
guess, for me.
Yeah. Again, for someone who's not from here, I don't see why, unless you were a young child, why you would like this film.
Yeah. Totally.
I didn't like this film as much as a bunch of stuff. So, like, in the beginning, you know, they're swimming, and the person's like, the Long Center, that's a real place, and my sister used to swim there all the time.
Really?
So that, like, in the first couple minutes, you know, that, like, indoor swimming center.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been there all the time, because it's,
Okay.
like, again, right near my house. And my sister used to swim there. I used to play outside in, like, the playground, and once I tried to run up the slide for some reason, because I was, like, 4 years old, and I smashed my face on the slide, because I slipped. So, yeah, there's that.
Nothing but great memories. I also would like to say as a swimmer that their form was ass. The swimmers
Oh, it looked bad.
in this movie. They were just flailing. They're doing what you're not supposed
Yeah.
to do, which is just moving as fast as you can. It's about the flow.
Right. It's I know, it's like you're supposed to, like, reach out.
Yeah, it's a rhythm.
Like,
It's
it's like a reach and, like, scoop.
Yeah. I had this little technique. Honestly, maybe this isn't even a good technique, but I would do like a limp stroke when I was in high school, where it's like you go like a little bit more on one side, and it's really fast, and it conserves a lot of energy. It's a fantastic thing.
It's called a limp stroke.
Well, it's just because it looks like you're limping, and I just
But that phrase sounds like you actually had a stroke, and that's why you're limping.
That's why. Okay, yeah, no. I was saying stroke, like swim stroke, but
Yeah.
you're limping. And the thing is, I got it because our fastest swimmer when I was in 7th grade did it. Not sure if he did it on purpose, but he was really fast with it, so I just kind of imitated it, and ended up being really fast.
And then you broke all the records.
Yeah, broke all. Well, I never touched on this, but all the records. I broke 2 records, I think, when I was on the team. They immediately got broken the next year. So I had 1 year of being on the board. But anyways.
Wait, were you still at the school when they were broken?
No.
Okay, so that's good. At least you got to, like, leave. It would have been
Yeah.
embarrassing if you were still on the swim team as a senior and someone else breaks your record.
I'm like,
You're
oh,
damn.
come on.
Yeah. Now, okay, I have a couple more points on this film. And it's kind of more Florida-specific things.
Hey, go ahead.
Well, actually, the military depiction in this film, not that bad.
Yeah?
It's
Yeah.
kind of like, because for kids' films, they usually glorify the military.
Yeah.
And this, it was kind of like, you know, it was like the cousin had this promising future that the military was offering him that was actually, like, false.
Yeah.
Where he's like, oh, yeah, the military's going to pay, and then I'm going to be able to train in swimming and go to the Olympics. And then actually that was all bullshit.
Yeah. Honestly, you would expect some more of, like, the glorification from a movie like this.
Right, and it really didn't.
Yeah.
It was like
Interesting.
literally all you saw was a VA hospital with a bunch of amputees.
Yeah. Huh.
So
Well,
interesting.
hey, good for Dolphin Tale.
Yeah, I mean, that's good that it's not glorifying the military.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, here's the thing. There was a tropical storm that hit that was, like, caused a bunch of damage in this film. That's not how tropical storms work. First of all, tropical storms are under the strength of a hurricane. You get, like, no damage from a tropical storm. They don't do anything, dude.
Really?
Yeah, it's very little damage. You don't. Their whole, like, inside and outside of the aquarium were full of, like, debris. That doesn't happen in a tropical storm. You don't need, like, 100 people to clean up a parking lot because, like, every tree in the world's blown on top of the parking lot.
Yeah.
So that's weird. Also, you don't prepare for it right as it's happening. You know it's coming for days. Like, they were like, oh crap, it's starting to get real windy, time to tie everything down. Like, those people, if that's how they prepare, they should not be in charge of an aquarium. Like, oh, time to save all the animals right as the storm's hitting.
Yeah.
Like, what were they doing the 3 days before that?
Right. I'm learning a lot about Florida in this episode,
and,
to
like,
be honest.
again, tropical storm. you don't need to cower in a corner of your house with your mom. Like, you're fine, dude.
I always assumed
storm.
they were like on the same level as like a tornado and shit.
No, tornadoes are way more powerful.
Okay.
The thing about hurricanes is that they're huge, right? Tornadoes are very small.
Yeah.
And hurricanes can be like half the size of the state of Florida. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing, is that hurricanes are not nearly as frightening, because unless it's like a category 4 or 5, they're not going to be like powerful enough to blow a house down if it's like a well-made house. And also, yeah, you know they're coming.
Yeah. Huh.
Like, I've had to evacuate a few times growing up.
Damn.
But yeah, it's not the same as a tornado at all.
Yeah.
So that was like completely unrealistic. Okay, also, the teacher in this film was getting shit on so much. And literally his only thing he said was, hey, that'd be kind of messed up if you're already signed up for summer school and I let you not come to summer school and just pretend that you going to an aquarium every day is the same. And the mom is like, what? How? And I feel like he was being completely reasonable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like, that is not fair. First of all, how does he even know that the kid's going? He has no way of monitoring that. The mom could just be lying.
Totally. I did not like the mom that much. I'm not gonna lie.
No, the mom is annoying.
Yeah.
Also, no, I didn't understand why they didn't explore the mom and Harry Connick Jr. like hooking up. Not like in the film, but I mean like the you know, I don't mean like actually on screen, of course, it's a kids movie, but I mean like I felt like that's the direction they were going, because they're like, oh, my dad's single, your mom's single.
Yeah, it's very weird tonally in that way.
Like, it felt like that's where they were going to go, and they just did not at all.
Yeah. There's just...
Especially because the weird interaction that they had at the beginning, where it was like a really short interaction with like the mom and Harry Connick Jr. talking to each other.
Right.
And then she said, gotta scoot. So that's honestly probably why Harry Connick Jr. wasn't interested. Who talks like that?
What I'm realizing is like so much of this movie feels like it's from the eyes of a kid, where it's like things are either over exaggerated or just not at all how they actually are, but not like in the way like a kid's movie usually is. It's just weird, I guess.
Yeah, and also movie. How the kid kept saving the day. Like, this kid is some genius. He's like, actually, the tail's not the problem, it's the sock. Somehow I know that because I'm the dolphin whisperer.
I loved the one time when he came home, and the mom is just like smelling him up, and she's like, "Have you been fishing?" Like, why are you so mad about that?
Yeah, honestly, that was like the best joke in the whole film.
Yeah. Cool. Well, what do you like? What do you feel about it? I guess.
Like, it's not bad.
No.
I don't feel like ever watching it again.
No, I'm never gonna watch it again. I definitely won't be checking out Dolphin Tale 2.
You will be?
I won't. No. Hold on. Is this a love story? Because, okay, the Dolphin Tale poster is the kid with the dolphin in the water, which is weird in itself. But the Dolphin Tale 2 one is there's two dolphins kissing now. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
That's weird.
About. Yeah. Oh, someone... Wait. Oh, I thought it said the kid passed away, but years have passed. Anyways. It's like, damn. What are you feeling for a rating?
For a rating, I would say, I don't know. The thing is, it's like not bad.
Yeah. I was feeling
I think if I was a kid, if I was like 11 years old, I would probably be like 4 stars.
Yeah.
But I'm not, so I'm gonna say 2.5.
Okay. Yeah. That seems like the right. Okay.
And I think part of that is because I'm from here, so I'm just like looking out for all these things I know.
If you were a parent, like, would you take your kid to this? Like, I would take my kid to this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's also, again, as we observed as adults, the way the script is, it's like engaging enough of a film.
Right.
As an adult. Like, it's very shallow in that right after it happens, you don't like think about it ever again.
Uh-huh.
But as it's happening, it like does the stuff you want it to do to your brain.
Totally. Yeah. I'd also just like to acknowledge that this was my second time seeing this. I've talked about this a few times. I saw this on a date in 8th grade, And it's a bad date movie. I don't.
It's a terrible
I think
date movie.
8th grade is the exact time when you just stop giving a shit about movies like this. And so
Yeah.
I don't know what. And to be clear, the first date movie we went to was Contagion. So we jumped from that to this. And
Yeah. That's
I don't know
weird.
what the choices were back then.
Why were you doing
I
that?
don't know. I was just desperate to go on dates, and I was like, Dolphin Tale's playing at 8. If you want to see that.
I mean, if I was going to be mean, I would go look up what other films were in theaters at the same time
Yeah.
and then see what better options you could have, but I won't do that to you. But I'm sure
No.
there were reasonable options.
2011 was not a bad year for movies. No. There was probably, tons of, not really. Anyways,
Okay, so we confirmed best 2011 date movie,
best
Dolphin Tale.
Dolphin Tale. Literally the others were Shame, directed by Steve McQueen, which is I don't actually know if that's a good date movie or not. I've heard it's very sexual. And Contagion. And yeah. Anyways. Oh my god. Yeah, not good date movie. Moneyball. Moneyball would have been good. Moving on. Yeah, I'd give this like a 11 a.m.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a little early.
honestly, that's not bad. Yeah, I would say like maybe 1 p.m.
Yeah, 1 p.m., like midday.
Honestly, it's a very easy watch because they don't ask a lot of you.
Right.
It's pretty much the exact opposite film from what we watched last week, which was... I forgot when you said what we watched last week, I said Guns Akimbo. That was not last week. That was 2 weeks ago. It was In the Mood for Love.
This was like polar opposites, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, that film asks so much of you, and this film asks literally nothing of you. It doesn't even ask you to make the mental connection of where he's biking to. It says on screen where he's biking to as he's doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, what did they think I was going to do? Like, where's he going?
Is he leaving town?
Where is he gonna bike into the ocean? Where does this bridge go?
Well, that does it for Dolphin Tale, I would say. I think it's a nice play on words with the title, I will say. Dolphin Tale or Dolphin Tale, T-A.
I mean, that's what the movie had to have been called.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we'll get into some questions here.
Yeah. I have one quick anecdote from a couple weeks ago that I want to clarify.
Go ahead.
That I remembered that makes it even funnier. So, do you remember I told you the story about how in my middle school math textbook, I had a dog that pooped in one of the pages?
Yeah.
And then I returned the book.
Yeah.
And so 2 years later, my brother's 2 years younger than me, went to the same middle school. His friend says to my brother, "Hey, your brother had my book."
No.
And then my brother goes, "My dog pooped in that book." And the guy goes, like, his friend goes, "What?" And my brother opens the pages, and then it's just this brown, like, stained page.
That is so bad. Oh my god. Oh. Honestly, like, best case scenario for someone who knew the person who... Because, like, imagine not having any idea and just opening a brown page. That's... Alright, yeah. Cool. I feel like we timed this so that, like, the beginning of this episode, we were talking about foods and shakes, and maybe someone went to go get something to eat, and by now they, like, have the food, and they just started eating it, and then you brought up that.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah.
I mean, better than your pool story.
Better than the pool. Yeah. Well, I know. I would take. Let's not expand on this. We'll get into some questions. These come from the subreddit. And by the way, we have none this week, but for future reference, $15 patrons in the Patreon will get their questions answered in these normal episodes. But for now, these come from the subreddit, and this first one comes from Do Ex Machina, or Machia, and it is, on a different note, are you guys into shoes, / do you have any favorite shoes, brands, / styles?
So we answered this probably about a year ago.
We did? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, care to share again? I picked this one because I coincidentally just got new shoes and wanted to show them off, but
okay, so that's
that's why.
Yeah, because I have like the Nike. It's like the very lightweight ones.
Oh yeah. You have nice shoes. I like those.
Yeah, those are because I got ones that are. I had ones for a long time that were like bright orange, and then I'm like, these are a little too much for me right now.
Right.
So I got ones. I like customized them online because Nike has like a custom thing.
Yep.
So mine are like all gray.
That's
like every part of them is gray, and then but like the actual like outside of them is like kind of speckled gray. But then the rest of it's just like matte gray.
Yeah. Interesting.
Matt Gray sounds like a character name, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I think that I'm not joking. I think this is exactly how this conversation went last time.
No, I don't think so. I would have.
I think that because I think that we said something about 50 Shades of Grey.
I would have remembered Matt Gray unless I just glossed over it. But
I think I'm not joking. I think that last time we talked about shoes, this is exactly how this went.
Oh, that's so embarrassing. I feel like an old man, and we just keep repeating the same stories.
It's like, well, if you missed it last time, I'm going to say the same thing again this week.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Okay, let's see your shoes though. That's more exciting.
Okay, so I got myself 2 shoes for my birthday. I treated myself because I needed new shoes. I haven't gotten some new pairs in a while. So one, I went pretty basic, normal. I got these.
Oh, are you wearing them right now?
Well,
okay.
So I got these New Balances. And they're just typical. Anybody that knows me, who follows me, knows I'm a big New Balance guy. And
yeah, and those are, I like that color scheme.
Thank you.
It's like
Something,
that's probably the one I would have picked as well.
Something kind of like casual.
Yeah.
And the second one, bear with me for just a second. You're gonna lose your mind. Second ones we got are these Nike Gore-Texes.
Okay. You know what? I'm in.
They look very yellow, but they're more like a kind of highlighter yellow in person. And
are they similar to like maybe like a little bit more yellow than a tennis ball?
Yeah. Less green than a tennis ball, but in that ballpark. But yeah,
I'm in. I like them.
I'm a big fan. I've never owned a pair of Air Force Ones, and I've wanted one since I was in I wanted a pair since I was in 7th grade, but never bit the bullet. So these are my first pair, and they're so comfortable. I do recommend them, and they look really good. I'm happy. Yeah. So these are my.
Yeah. I mean, the way you went all out on answering this, I now totally see that picking this question was a ploy to do this. Like you were prepared before the podcast.
So the thing is, it's like I just got these yesterday, and I have to quarantine because I was traveling.
So no one can see them.
Yeah. So I've been so excited about them, but they haven't left this room. So I was like, podcast. Someone asked about shoes. Perfect. So these are my new shoes.
I mean, honestly, those are worth showing off.
Thank you. Yeah. Fair. I haven't had a bold pair of shoes in a while, so yeah. I wouldn't call myself a sneakerhead, but when I do buy a new pair of sneakers, I pay attention,
I think that people in Europe are gonna be like, "What the hell is a sneaker?" I think that's an American.
Oh my god, that's just an American thing.
Because I remember I took the New York Times quiz of it tries to locate where you're from based on what you call things.
Really? Sneaker.
Yeah, and even sneaker, I have heard that a lot, but that's shoes like that are more often called tennis shoes. In Florida.
Yeah.
Sneakers the number 2 phrase, but some places in the U.S. don't call them tennis shoes or sneakers.
Right.
They call them other things.
Damn.
So it's that quiz gives you this whole list of things. And so it's what do you call a group of people? And it's you guys, y'all, you all.
Yeah.
It's this whole list of things, and it locates where you're from based on what you call them. Just how people in Wisconsin call water fountains bubblers.
That's so weird to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to take that quiz now. That'd be fun to.
It's a fun quiz. I took it a few days ago actually, and it actually did locate as one of the cities as St. Petersburg, Florida.
Oh my god.
And you know what the big giveaway on that was? Because it also tells you for each question where the heat map of who calls it that is.
Uh-huh.
And it's because it's the big cat indigenous to Florida, or no, indigenous to the United States, and it's like, what do you call that? And it's like cougar, jaguar, all these things. But in Florida, we call it a panther because we have a Florida panther as like it's an animal that lives here.
Yeah.
And Florida is the only place in the U.S. that calls it a panther.
Damn, that's so weird. I feel like Florida's just so separate from the U.S. to be honest. Like you guys are in your own, because like there's the South and then there's Florida. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Florida is not the South.
Yeah,
Florida
it's just Florida.
is weird.
Yeah, kind of like Texas. Texas, I wouldn't consider like the South. It's just Texas. Cool. Well, I just pulled this thing up, but I'm gonna take it later. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, I say you guys a lot. That's the only one I'll touch on.
Yeah, I say you guys as well.
Anyways, this next one comes from Inferior Dizzy Design 1, and it is which Shrek is the best? So I've seen all the Shreks. I don't know if you've seen all of them.
Right. I have at various points, not recently.
Yeah.
But I think I know what you're gonna say.
Yep.
Because I think the consensus by people who would contemplate this is that Shrek 2 is the best.
It is. Yes. It's the best one.
Right.
But it's honestly pretty tied between that and 1.
Yeah, I would say Shrek 1 just because of the soundtrack.
Yeah. Like Shrek 1 is more than most movies a very good like time machine into that era. Like both as far as it like the humor and the animation style, the music, like it's such a, and it's not like a cheesy kind of dated look into early 2000s. It's like a really fun, like, this is just how it is,
Yeah.
And I really love it. It's also just such a ridiculous premise. I can't believe Shrek has 4 movies. 5, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who even knows?
And a
at this
Puss in
point? Maybe they
Boots.
just made some direct-to-DVDs.
Yeah.
Did anyone still make direct-to-DVD movies? They don't, because no one buys DVDs. It's just direct to like streaming now.
Yeah, now it's just kind of put it on Amazon.
Because I remember there were so many direct-to-DVD films, and they were all bad.
They were all usually like sequels to movies that didn't need sequels, like
Right.
Up in season 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what? I forgot we talked about Open Season once on this podcast.
I remember I was in Athens.
Oh my god. That's cool that you can associate movies with countries where you were like there.
I would hope that my brain doesn't associate
Open Season
with Greece. It's like, yeah, here you have the Acropolis.
Yeah.
And that reminds me of that cow in Open Season.
I have a one that's just for you. This last one, it is Jordan. It's from Jordan AU 20, and it is Jeff. What dorm did you stay in at UCF?
Okay, wow, this is. I was in. So I was in Tower 3, which there was this one thing called the Towers that was right next to. There was 2 towers kind of on. The towers were kind of like on. There was 4 total, but they were on each side of the basketball arena.
Okay.
And then like right further back was the football field. And they were fairly new when I lived there. They were only like maybe 5 years old.
Yeah.
They were pretty nice. Like I had my own room, and it was 4 people shared like a common area and kitchen.
Yeah.
And then there were 2 bathrooms, and then there was 4 rooms. So I had my own individual room.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
But here was the mistake I made. I was in the honors tower because I was in the honors college.
Heyo.
Should not have done that. Those kids were weird, man. I mean, again, nothing against like, because they were doing their thing, but it was just like not my vibe.
Right,
it was
right.
like constant games of like Dungeons and Dragons being played in like the lobby.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's just a weird place to do that.
Okay.
It's like you're showing off that you're playing that.
Yeah.
Like that just feels like a weird, like fine, yeah, totally play that. I've never played it, but I know a lot of people like enjoy that.
Yeah.
But it just seems like a weird thing to do out in the open.
Totally. Yeah, because it's like a private thing, and so much about D&D is the atmosphere, and you can't get that.
Right,
there.
that's what I assumed. It felt like they were like just, I don't know why they were doing the open. Then there was this one kid who wore a beret all the time, and he always, every time I would walk in, he would try to fist bump me every time.
Yeah.
And then also, for some reason, they housed the basketball team there. So sometimes I would try to leave out the side door, and a couple times, not on purpose, but they had this Polish 7'4" guy, and I would open the door and he would be there, and I would like jump back a little bit, and I would feel bad because I wasn't expecting to open the door to a 7'4" guy.
Right.
It was a weird.
It's
place
a really
to live for a year.
weird mix of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. Well, I hope that answers that.
Yeah.
That does it for questions.
Also, one of my brother's coworkers lived in the same tower I lived in, but like one floor different at the same time I lived there, that he learned later.
That's weird.
And then one of my sister's people she went to like graduate school with also lived in that tower.
Damn.
Like on the same floor.
It's a lot of weird.
Weird, right?
Yeah. Also just odd that like maybe I'm alone in this, but like living in a tower or like calling them towers at least.
Yeah, it was.
odd.
Yeah, it was just like 7-foot tall
Yeah.
apartment building is really what it was.
Yeah.
But calling it a tower sounds cool.
Yeah. Cool. Well,
So yeah, that answers that question in far too much depth.
I guess we'll get into the wrap up. We'll start this time with announcing the next movie. The next movie is going to be Country Bears, or The Country Bears. It's on Disney Plus. I'm really excited about it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I have seen it, but don't remember it. So it'll be a fun one. It's on Disney Plus. Also, forget if I already said that. But next, we'd like to read a review. I have recently confirmed this. Like leaving reviews, giving us 5 stars, it does help. Apparently.
That's good because we've been asking people to do that for like a year and a half.
Yeah. So definitely leave reviews. We read them on the podcast if you didn't know. And this one comes from Lilbo9. I can't actually tell if there's an L in there or not, but it reads, or the subject line is weird obsession with creature ... It won't let me expand. And 5 stars, and it reads, mantids and ostriches, am I right? But in all seriousness, this is a great podcast. Jeff and Karsten are really genuine people, and their banter makes it enjoyable and not film bro-ish. Keep it up, guys. You're amazing. Thank you. Yeah. We'll talk about Jeff's
thank you.
dorm room more.
Yeah. How film bro-ish is that?
Yeah. And lastly, we'd like to thank the patrons. If you'd like to get in on the fun, go to patreon.com/Karstcast, where you can get exclusive access to bonus episodes, Q&As, shoutouts at the end of every episode, and monthly Zoom hangouts. They're a ton of fun. Yeah. So, without any further ado, unless you're about to say something.
This list is getting pretty long, which is where we are happy about that, and we thank all of you, but it also is getting really funny to have to listen to you read all the names.
Yep. So, without any further ado, thank you, Allison Grace, Annabelle Falk, Bex, Blake Root, Boat, Brandon Yu, Brock Schultz, Cameron, Mason McCurdy, Camilla, Drew Jackson, Eden. Everything I said this episode has just been one long Patreon name. Fozzie Bear, Grant Gow, Hannah E., Holly Edwards, Iron Tusk 93, Isabel Iva, Jacob Kolnis, John Van Hout, Joshua Kraswicki, Josie Eiler, Katie T., Kevin Turner, Kiana Liqui, Liv Rob, Lucian Vecina, Luke Vineyard, Maddie Robertson, Martin Deff, Marilee Borslow, Michael Decker, Moses Ox, Monroe Page, Pablo Patel, Parks, Ready Steady Ernie, Robert Burke, Sam Farr, Sophia Arieta, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Smitty Werben Jagerman Jensen, Taylor Hardy, Teal Bacon, 10 Billion, Toad Pimp, Vegard Strom, Vera S., Yolki Sasquatch, and Yusef A. Thank you, everybody. First time I've ever read through Supercalifragilistic without expanding the name. I have memorized it, so...
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah, you're getting pretty good at that.
It's always when we get a new name.
That means we have to add more names.
Yeah. We gotta get more names in there. Cool. Thanks everybody. We really appreciate it. Jeff.
Yep. And I want to say that the patrons were the ones who started being able to receive the hats earlier. So I know that some of them have already received them. Like we got a picture from John Van Hout.
Great
patron.
Charlie XCX wall art. Yeah.
Looks good.
So thanks everybody. Jeff, do you have anything else to say?
Catch you on the flip side.
Catch you on the flip side.
Flip side.
Wait. Where is it?
Wait. Oh, you
There we go.